Welcome to Transformers the Show, number 66. On tonight's show, we are looking at Slags from Hasbro. Slags. We're looking at that.
Yeah, not EastEnders.
Just the Transformer, the dinosaur. The
Obviously.
Dinobot. Yeah, the Dinobot. Dinobots, mate. And there's news and stuff.
Why not?
It's Saturday night. It's 7 p.m. It's now time for Transformers the Show.
So thanks for joining us tonight. And now it's on to the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Slag. So Slag's back, and we're all happy about it. And there he is. So photos leaked. There's loads of photos of Slag out there now. Sorry.
Slag means molten metal.
Exactly. We
Let's
all
wait
know
till
that.
they re-release Erector. That show. I'm looking forward to
Tell
that
you
one.
what, that's going straight on the pre-orders. But yeah,
why
he's a
does
good
his head
size. Is that cartoon? Is that cartoon
What?
coloration or toy coloration? The redhead.
Cartoon.
But he's quite broad, isn't he? To
Yeah.
me, he kind of looks broader than Grimlock.
He
but I
does.
don't know if that's just the
because
camera
he's got
angle.
the triangle shape, hasn't he, though? I
Mm,
think that emphasises that Grimlock's much more blocky.
yeah,
He's
that
got
must
the
be what it
Dorito.
is.
He's got the Dorito.
He is the walking Dorito. There's a comparison shot with some of the other Kingdom bots that are out and about, so you can see he's a good size.
It's nice how they're all on Grimlock's side there, you know.
Yes. Well, I
Who
think
do you hate
that's
the
more
most?
to I think that's more to show so you can actually see Slag and everything. But yeah, everybody loves Grimlock.
sad. Everyone
stand
in front.
He comes with Daniel, and I'm assuming that's not the same Daniel that comes with. No, it's not, is it? Because they basically retooled Wheelie that came with
Yeah.
Grimlock into Daniel.
It does look kind of worrying, though, that Daniel's legs seem to be fixed position like we always
Yeah,
again.
it's the same situation again, isn't it? But yeah, there's loads more photos. Rather than having 100 photos of Slag, just downloaded a few of the good ones that show a bit of comparison of him. And also, got to have a bit of Kingdom Galvatron because it's now become a weekly thing. And these ones are in
every
because
fucking
Cramsic
week.
Reviews has got hold of him and done a review. And we've got comparison shots with some of the existing Siege and Kingdom.
And he is
Transbots.
with his shoulders being turned around. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Go on, Jamie,
Looks a
you
lot-
explain it.
He looks a lot better with his shoulders turned around. We do think, well, we're hoping that it was obviously a mistake with these test models that are coming out, but it's probably definitely going to be part of the line, this mistake. And people are hoping to get fillers in just to cover the pinholes.
Well, we've seen
know.
that's something actually that I don't think we've got in the news. It came in quite late, but the speaking of fillers, the reveal of the Scorponok. Have you all seen the Scorponok add-on kit that adds height to him, so he's the same height as Titan's Return Fortress Maximus? So I bet that'll be quite popular as well. Anyway, there's good old Galvi with Magnus, Kingdom Magnus, and with Studio Series Hot Rod, I believe.
I'm just looking forward to getting to see him next to Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, that'll be
That's
good.
the money shot for me.
And there he is with the lads.
Yeah.
Lads. Anyway, looking good.
The sea
And then
shanty team.
we had some leaked photos, supposedly, of possible Kingdom or Select bots. So these are prototypes of a face-plated Optimus Primal with the more kind of traditional Optimus Prime face, which, again, I'm a G1 fan, so I definitely prefer that, and I like the look of it. I wonder if I'd
Big
actually want to
Gundam
pick it up.
esque.
It is. It
Face
looks
points.
good, though.
Mm.
And
I
then
think
the
it's
other
gonna be
one,
a removable faceplate.
look, possible. I mean, it's only a prototype, so it's hard to tell from that. I wouldn't have thought so. I think that would be the permanent head sculpt.
Because I
I'd
just
be
see the bit of the
surprised.
chin at the bottom, so I just wondered if they could flap it down, sort of thing. Like,
I mean, it's possible. I think it'll just be that, though. I think that'll be the sculpt, but
not
I may be
forward
proved
thinking.
wrong. And then we've got Shadow Panther, a possible prototype of Shadow Panther as well. So, yeah, possibly on the way. We might see some more of them in the coming weeks. And that was
Obviously, aren't they? We're gonna have like a
pretty
Shadow
much-
Panther, Kitty
obviously
cat,
a Shadow Panther, yeah.
tiger. Like they're going to use that mold as much as they can.
Oh yeah, it's not just Cheeto with a little bit put over his face. It's definitely Shadow Panther. And then that was pretty much it for Hasbro news. Obviously, we had tons of Hasbro news last week. So
I've got the
we'll do
photos
the
for
third
DNA.
party.
I've got the photos for DNA.
Oh,
I can quickly
well,
show.
do you want to share them at the end of the third party bit,
Yeah, I could do it now in between. It's up to you.
or at the end?
Yeah.
Or now, or at the end.
Crossover. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
We'll do it at the end.
Segue.
Go on.
Yeah.
I've started now. I've started, so I'll finish.
Is that?
Exodus, which we know is coming and has started to turn up for certainly some of the American reviewers. But I messaged Kapow myself this week, at the start of this week, and just asked if they had any update yet on when he might be coming in. Only to be told that it's not been released over here yet, and they haven't basically got any update as of yet. So for those of us who've ordered from Kapow, the wait continues, but I don't mind because I think he looks brilliant, and there's quite a few photos of him that have been done. I do like that background as well. I think these photos were Mastermind Creations promo photos of him looking awesome as IDW Getaway, the evil son of a bitch that he is. I'm not
Good old Lenny Kravitz Getaway.
I'm not as taken by the alt mode, but you know, he'll mostly be in robot mode for me. As I say, queue anytime now.
See the faceplate, the hinge at the bottom again, like the one we saw in Prime. Is that like a mouth meant to be? Or is that
I think it's it's like the chin. There's a better shot coming up where you get a bit more of a close up.
Oh, that one, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
The little bit at the bottom. I'm sure he had it in the comic book as well. I mean, that's the thing with MMC. They do tend to nail the look of the IDW bots. And I know people complain about, well, it's this, it's like that Calidus mold again. But when you do that much retooling on it, I don't mind. The only thing I've seen from some of the reviews that have come out so far is a couple of them have mentioned that the faults that you find with Calidus haven't been rectified necessarily. But I like the Calidus mold. I can live with, the little things that people complain about. And that, I mean, look at that.
I always thought it was
Like
his
one of your
shoulders.
shots, Alexis.
He's got a lunge going there.
He's got. I love a good lunge.
lunge.
That's it.
Could I
Not
be
a man
wearing any
unless
more
you can
clothes?
punch.
Could I be any more evil? Anyway, it's a nice bot. It's a nice looking bot. So I'm looking forward to at some point getting that one in. Did anybody else
There you
pre-order
go.
him, by the way? Jamie, were you after him?
I was thinking about it, but
Because I think Planet Steel Express was it them that had him, or was it? I might be thinking of who was the female Tarn again?
Yeah, that's the yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Alexis, you can explain this one.
This is Transform Elements Legends version of Scorponok from Beast Wars. So he'll be smaller than the Kingdom lineup, ever so slight. So I think he's about the same size as Kingdom Air Razor. That's the sort, if you look at that sort of scale. But yeah, Legends size. So it's quite diddy, but people like him.
He's got a tattoo that says
yeah,
text.
he's got a tattoo. It's all the age these days.
Exactly.
I
He's
can hear
young,
you talking about this.
he's wild.
I swear I put it. It's like enter text here. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Did you write that?
So, no, it's
Text.
yes, this is
No,
the text.
I love it if it had a little like asterisk. Note to self: Alexis, write something really cutting here.
Text.
Get your
That's
own
it.
back on Jamie finally.
I like the fact that you still keep sending these tiny photos as well. That's always fun too. But anyway,
Just do it from my
You
phone.
can't even be asked to crop the top.
yeah, I know.
He sends the screenshot done. Fuck you. That's it.
It's so good having an IT expert with us. Anyway, what's this one, Paul?
It's cropped. It's Iron Factory.
It does look nice. This though, I love the colours.
Do lunges, but not crop tops.
So, Tyrant's Wings Obsidian, limited to the body,
Ooh.
and we all
So maybe it's going to be limited edition.
independent numbering card. I love it. It does look nice, but you're not a big fan of the Iron Factory Seeker mold, are you?
No, I've gone a bit off Iron Factory because I sold them all. But the alt mode is just not that good. Like they're all
Old.
genuine. all modes in most Iron Factory stuff isn't great, is it? And that's possibly not.
Yeah, you said that's quite a flattering angle.
It
It's the
is.
old Hasbro one of if you do the shot of the top of the jet mode, so you don't see the bot hanging underneath.
Sorry, my wife's just staring at me.
If you think we'll see one of us get attacked live on air by a significant other.
We already have with Alexis.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
It's more a question of who's next.
The challenge is with that is that you see it before I do because she comes from behind. She's like she attacks like a tiger. It's like, yeah, I have to wear a mask on the back of my head so that if she sees eyes, she doesn't go for it. It's just like it's like a deterrent. I sprayed a little. I sprayed a cat.
What we
stuff,
can't see is the back of his head. It's actually shaved in like a pair of eyeballs in his face. We just can't see.
Very big.
I got my felt marker. So,
was this you, Alexis, that sent this in?
yeah, I can't remember who makes it.
Doesn't say text. Where's it?
$2,199.
I remember who makes it. The guys did this. They did the Soundwave
Starscream as well. You put it together.
They've got
Like
the
6 bits, isn't it?
Yep, that's it. They've done about three or four. They've done about 3 or 4 of them. So the Soundwave was about $2,000 as well. So it comes with like a little car as well. But on the website, it was like I'd have to actually go onto a computer to take a picture of that bit to get a decent resolution. So that was a bit too. Yeah.
I think loads of Bobby Skullface's fans getting one of these. Not this.
Yeah, they got them Soundwave, didn't they?
Was it Soundwave?
Oh wow!
It was, and he said it was mixed in the quality of it. So, I think there's also. Do these guys do the Grimlock one as well? Grimlock fighting the Sharkies. But yeah, it's this.
They
it comes
do
with a
these
little
and bots. They do both.
There you go.
$2,000 for a bot.
Pastes.
Super
Bot for men.
Bots for men. And the final bit of news was if you're a Kapow boy, like most of us are, you've got Unicron on its way, hopefully. By next Friday, they said. So Friday would be...
not the final bit of news, though.
Well, I'm
22nd.
Not quite.
It's big news, definitely, literally big news. But as Alexis pointed out, there was the floating Scorponok upgrade set.
Exactly that.
Which gives him extra height to bring him up to Fortress Maximus, to return Fortress Maximus's height.
So you can see here that you can see before and after. I actually really like this. I think it's a clever idea.
To be honest, I just doesn't. No,
Is that a different head?
It looks like this is it. It looks like a different helmet. It's like,
and it's definitely different cannons on his shoulders as well.
It's almost gone from like
the one on that you're pointing to, the one on the left, is with all the add-ons on.
Right, of course, the previous ones.
So it's a bit unfair because if it's just going by the height alone, no fucking way. I don't care.
But if you have to choose one of the two,
out of sheer arrogance and defiance, I would pick the original every time and twice on Sunday.
Why?
Sometimes I just like the aesthetic of the original toy and the way it was originally imagined. I mean, if I'm going to...
then why when you get the G1?
When I'm improving something, no. When I'm talking about the toy when it's released, I like the way it is.
I get what Jamie means.
Yeah.
The original, like the figure as it comes, sometimes you don't want to mess with that. You just like... That's the figure, and
no, I get that. I'm just saying, if they would say like Hasbro is releasing Scorponok, you have to choose which one.
I would still. I mean, to be. You
mean Hasbro releasing?
I don't like
that
the face
upgraded
shield
version.
I don't like the face shield on it. If I could choose a lot of bits, I would like the guns. The extra guns would be good, but I don't like the face visor thing on it.
Yeah, I prefer the other head as well. Yeah, I'd be with Jamie on that one. I prefer the head on the original version. But I can see why other people like the other one. It's it's personal preference. You're allowed to.
You can have the original head still. You can choose the original head on that.
The original head, I think, looks better.
But how much is the height thing going to cost, really?
Well, normally these kits, the original one, the other kits, they come in. It was two packs, wasn't it? About £50 a pop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
I just don't see the point of paying £50 for £150 toy just to give it an inch extra height.
I agree. I don't think I'm not that bothered about that one
because it's okay. Put it into perspective. I guess if you look, I get it, if you look at what the double dealer, right, which gave it the extra oomph, right, but the double dealer was between 40 and 50 pounds you're going to pay, and that kit was, what was it, 12 pounds, Andy? 12 to 15
It
pounds,
was about 12, 15. Yeah, I think it was 15. It worked out.
Yeah. So so if you look at that, I mean, obviously that, I think 50 quid, you're paying 50 quid for that, which is a 33%. And obviously in that one, you're still paying around 30%, aren't you, roughly?
But I didn't like the double dealer kit for that.
No, but I'm just, it's again, I'm just, it's about the same price. I guess it's the price of the manufacturing that you're not being able to manufacture at such a high grade. The thing about DNA is they actually are, the quality's there. Like with the double dealer kit, I didn't think the quality was there as much with the plastic. DNA, they're like almost like Perfect Effect. And if you look at Perfect Effect kits like the God Jinrai, Titan's Return Prime, that thing retails at a good couple £100 because it just lasts. It transforms the toy. It turns it into, because that center cap just makes it just emphasizes and accents it so much. So I don't know. I mean, in the comments, if everyone's got a DNA design kit in the past, I think they also did one for Fort Max, didn't they? There's been a few other ones out there. Love to see what people think of them as well. If anyone wants to comment on that as well, feedback. Is anyone going to be getting one of these? Yeah, interesting, really. So, where can you order it from?
And now that was the news.
That was the news. That was the news. The day today. Right. On to pickups. Who would like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Oh,
well, I got a couple of pickups this week from a range of different stuff. But first of all, I'm getting Unicron hopefully on Monday or even Saturday if I'm really lucky. And I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a big event for me. I'll get the camera out and I'm looking forward to watching little Malin carry the box over the threshold into the house, and it'll bring tears of joy to me. So yeah, I'm delighted about that.
She puts her back out.
God bless you.
Yeah. Well, because I got Studio Series Starscream, and he's got quite a unique, different mold, which I read in some reviews, watching some pictures and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I thought, I'm going to get this guy. He seems to be quite different. A lot of people have said positive stuff about the figure, So, yeah,
I'd be interested to see actually if you did photos of him. Because I quite like the color scheme, obviously, on that mold, and then the alternate mode is very different to what we got, obviously, with the Blitzwing one. So
yeah,
interested to see what you think of it.
Yeah, that was the reason, because a lot of people were comparing it with the sort of Blitzwing and having arguments about what the original mold's based on, how much has been retooled. Is this a new mold? So there was getting some hefty arguments coming on in social media about that, So obviously, with the whole world burning just now, apparently, that was a big discussions with the Transformers community. And then we've got Bumblebee, Studio Series Bumblebee. So I've quite happily got him. I haven't got the red dino thing, which was called, because it kind of still looks pish to me. But if I look up a review, I might think about it and pleasing, and might decide to get it.
What red dino thing? Sorry,
Dino.
Yeah,
Dino from.
Dino.
No.
Oh,
which
sorry.
one was he from?
Apologies.
Age of Extinction or Dark of the Moon?
Yeah,
is it Dark of the Moon? I can't remember. One of the pish ones.
Yeah, with the B-verse ones, it's hard to tell because they always like mold into. I don't know what's happening. It's happening too fast. I'm too old now.
The thumbs down comes from.
Slow it down.
Yeah, it's going.
Speak properly so I can hear you.
Yeah, it all happens too fast for someone my age now. What else I got this week was ordered this by accident. Transformers Omnibus sort of 84, where it's got the original issue 0 in it, and it's got some older titles from the original Transformers comic, so got that. And I got issue 3 of Beast Wars, so I've now got I try to wait till I've got 2 issues, then I can read up on it together, because it just makes it last that little bit longer. Sometimes if you just read one issue, not much action happens, it's a bit disappointing. But I really enjoyed the Beast Wars, the first comic anyway, and I've heard good stuff from other people like Alfire, who said that the storyline's quite good. We still both don't like the artwork, but the artwork's good enough to tell the story, so it's obviously good in that sense. Just don't like the style so much, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I also got some G.I. Joe fingers,
Fingers.
figures.
Your fingers.
You know,
No, his name's
yeah.
Fingers. I think his name's
Um,
Fingers.
Zartan,
Zartan.
you know, the master thief. You know, so master of disguise. You know, he's got his little disguise thing there. You know, so you open the case, which I can't seem to do, and he's got like a face. You know, wow, scary stuff.
Oh, that is cool.
You know, and then you get the face, and then what you do is you just take off the cap, his mask, you shove the face on, and it kind of wants to stick on there, and then you put on the cap, put it on, and it's like a different figure. He's vanished.
Awesome.
Incredible. They'd never guess it was him.
Yeah,
It's Tom Selleck. It's Tom Selleck.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed about my G.I. Joe collection was it's not much diversity there. You know, there's Americans there, you've got Scottish figures like Destro, you've got some Japanese there. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? We need some more Asian characters. You know, I said to Milan, you know, not enough Asian representation, not happening in my watch, so I'm going to fix this. And I decided to get a Legends figure from the Marvel line, and he's going to be Quick Kick. So I'm going to adjust him to Quick Kick. But when I say that, adjust him, I'm going to keep him exactly as he is and use my imagination to finish off the last part. You know,
the best kind of customization.
Yeah. All he's really lacking is the black pants. He's got red pants on now. He's just seen the new fashion sense, and he hasn't got that wee stripy badge thing. But I might look into sort of fixing him up a little bit later.
Who is it in the Marvel universe? Who's actually meant to be in the original? Is that?
I've got
Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I get it.
Quite a heavy custom.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, well, the sort of naked, ready to go to bed Captain America, the ladies' version. But yeah, it's Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu.
Oh yeah, that
I
one.
believe Kung Fu's more of a Chinese thing, and he's Japanese Korean. But you know, it's okay. You know, but yeah. So yeah,
Covering the whole,
quite happy with that
whole
figure.
gamut.
And as I said before, I'm looking forward to getting Unicron and just being so happy with tears. But yeah,
Have you got your display space worked out now?
we don't think about such little things like that. No.
Deal with the problems when they come up.
Yeah, we'll wait till it arrives. Don't get ahead of ourselves.
So where will Nailin be sleeping for the foreseeable future?
Well, see that
The side of the bed will be taken.
yeah, I mean, I don't sure if I want it really in the bedroom. It's a bit daunting, you know. It's bad enough performing the best of times rather than having Unicorn just looking at you. So I think I'll be like try to see if I can sneak him into the living room somehow as part of a display there. You know, I've got some Transformer pictures up in the living room, so maybe I can sneak him in because he does look kind of classy, you know. So I'm kind of
Keep saying to Sam.
okay.
I keep saying to Sam, I want my Unicron in the bedroom, but you know, because again we've got the sex swing, so I can just sit in that and it sort of like, you know, above the bed. I thought it'd be really cool, but
Sam's gonna love this bit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I was speaking to some of the guys, like you know, about the Unicron, and like they were talking about how like, because some of the guys are speaking to all their like partners and that are like they come from, you know, different backgrounds. So like one of them was talking about how his significant other really helps them learn Japanese. And there was another person who said my significant other helps me with Cantonese and Mandarin. And I went, well, my significant other, Maylin, she helps me with English. And I help her with taking out the spiders, you know. So, but yeah. So yeah, I think she'll be hopefully okay with him being in the living room. Either that, it was definitely having to go into the bedroom.
just say he's a big spud in the Tyrant.
Exactly.
But don't not too much, because you need a job still. So
Well, I don't want him to pick him up and start smashing a spider with it. I'd be like, no.
It's all backfired.
We had some builders come in the other week because they were checking our garage, and they're going through the living room, and I've got all my boxes out and stuff because obviously with some of the Transformers I've got, and they're going, "Oh, your kid must love all those toys," and I was thinking, yeah.
You bottled it, didn't you, Jerry?
That's it.
Anyway.
Now let me show you my big toolbox.
But that's me finished, thankfully.
Awesome, thank you, sir. Right, Andy. No, we'll go because you might have. Do you have
No, nothing.
go
No
next.
crap Transformers.
Oh,
I've only got one thing, so I won't be long. And that is, it's not a Transformer, I'm afraid. Last week, obviously with the pre-orders and everything. Well, I'll discuss that in a minute. Anyway, what I got was I got myself another Visionary. So one very expensive.
Oh, what's his name? Is it
It's complete.
Apex?
This is Lexor.
Oh,
You can
I
still,
have-
hopefully you're
Tibia.
catching the hologram a bit.
Yeah.
Runs in Tibia.
Lexor turns into an armadillo.
Armadillo.
He's the coward of the Darkling Lords.
then no, I'm not associated with that.
Who's the
So-
beer guy? Cindersaw.
He's Cryotech.
Cryotech.
Cryotech turns
Cindersaw's
into a
the
bear.
isn't he?
Sindar, yeah. Sindar turns into an ape, and he's like supposed to be the really thick kind of
But
you
with
know,
a heart of gold for
missile,
animals.
yeah. But yeah, he does. He has that thing for animals, so he doesn't want to see them hurt. There's an episode I think where they're hunting a unicorn or something, and he doesn't want to harm them. And anyway, you can watch it online. It's very good. Anyway, so he was one I wanted to get, and I got him. Pretty cheap, complete and everything. He's in good nick. He's joints are still tight. The waist, which is usually the thing that goes because it's got elastic band, that's all fine. But the bonus with him was he came with his original box, which still has the little hologram on the front there. It's hard to see. I haven't got the lighting right.
nostalgia.
The artwork, I loved that artwork as a kid.
Mm.
I mean, apparently that's an armadillo, which, if it was true, is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. He's still got the original stickers on, price stickers, and of course,
Hasbro need to bring that stuff back.
this is what you need. I mean, being able to have the collectible card with his information and his spell, his little verse that he has to say in order to have invulnerability. So that's his special power from his staff. Is that he gets a shield to cover anything, and it was usually used when they were like about to be blasted with something, and he'd use that once and it would protect them. And then of course you get here we are. Those were the 8 original carded figures.
I mean, don't you prefer the way they used to do boxes in
Oh, yeah.
in the old time?
Well, it's like this with the artwork. All this was planned. That was coming out. That was for the second wave, second year of toys. I was going to include this big fortress, which was Merklin's, the wizard's kind of fortress and everything, and it all got cancelled. So it's quite sad. I know I'd probably come across a bit obsessed with Visionaries thing, but I think that's the thing. It was one of those toy lines that I got one when I was a kid, and I was really chuffed with it. And then for whatever reason, didn't get another opportunity to get one. And then when you get back to the toy shops, they've all gone because the line was cut. Toys had gone. You didn't get any more. The TV series was only 13 episodes. And as an 80s kid, I just remember being like, "Oh, what's happened? I don't get that." You didn't know like we do now with the internet and everything. Pretty much straight away, right? It got cancelled. But yeah, it's the thing is, it's not a Transformer. But I have like I was saying last week, those pre-orders and everything, as fun as it was in a way, there was also a stress to it. Of like, I want to make sure I get, the Arc pre-ordered, and I want to make sure I get Galvatron pre-ordered. You feel a bit stressed about it. Whereas picking up something like this, it was more, I didn't feel stressed at all. And it felt like an achievement to kind of get something that I really wanted, that I didn't, maybe think I'd be able to get for a reasonable price and everything. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying that element of collecting now that's come from doing what we're doing here, where you're kind of getting into other things.
But he does transform. Technically, he does transform into an armadillo.
In your imagination.
No, into an armadillo.
Oh no, he's going on to his Animorph connection now.
There you go. There you go.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. Alexis, how'd you go?
Shit. Will I start?
Beginning.
Yeah, a bit busy week. Busy week. They will just rock up, don't they? So ordered Clampdown a while back, as you know. So this weeks ago had this, and then in the post today came his brother Corden.
Cool.
So MP Corden. So this thing retails for a lot, but I found it on Amazon. Someone was selling it on Amazon, and I think it was new. It looks pretty. It's pretty cool. So he's just basically the police version of that, and it'd be nice X Transbots did their version of the sort of Kiss Players version, like police car version, which I want to get, but it's so hard to find. There wasn't very many of those. So with Takara doing their skids, I thought it'd be quite cool potentially if they did that. I'm sure they'll, they've done 2, right? Why wouldn't they do a third one? So I've got those guys. MMC I did last week, didn't I? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. Sorry, desk is full.
That's no problem.
MMC Azalea, like the IDW one. If you can see that.
I never liked the look of her. No offense, because I know you've just bought that figure, but every time I look at it, it's almost like she's been diseased, like she's got leprosy or something like that. It's just,
yeah, I got it for 40 quid, so unboxed but complete.
I don't know, it's the fleshy type face. It's like if you could get a good zoom up in that face, it makes you want to peek up your guts.
Hang on. Let me lean over my camera.
Don't hold back, Jamie. So what do you really think?
Yeah, it's like hideous, isn't it? It's just like, I mean,
it's not in
I don't
Go
know,
back a little bit. Just go back a little bit.
Back.
Pivot.
There.
Pivot. Baby, don't hurt me. Yes. No. It's not as
anyway.
good as the other RCs I've seen. Oh, the other RCs.
No.
Fantastic.
So this is their G1 aesthetic. Massive size difference. Massive size difference, right? So this is designed for. So I got this one originally for my IDW, and this is like what IDW should look like. I'm like, oh, she's quite small. So I see how she's going to scale with Proud, but you don't always know until you read up on that sort of stuff. I don't bother.
I mean, I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I shouldn't really say stuff, but I just don't like that figure.
You can't see in the pit and what I just showed her, but her so she does look like she's got the helmet on. So her face at the front is sort of is pink, peach, and then it looks like she's got like a Spartan style helmet on with blue eyes. So that is what she looks like there. But if you compare to what the other pickup I got, so I'm going to be doing a video soon. But so the reason I got her is because I was going to do RT's Angels video, and I've got Nisi now and this one, which didn't make the final cut because I was doing it on G1, but I'll get some honorary mentions when I do the video eventually. I need to finish it off. I got this guy. So this is Unique Toys. Yeah. Unique Toys Alan.
He looks good.
And he was one of the first springers that came out a while back. So obviously Unique Toys have done the Octane, which Paul Farrelly masturbates over quite regularly. They've done the Sandstorm, which I do have as well. The Sandstorm I do have up top here in helicopter mode. Love it as well. And they're strong bots. So everyone criticizes yellow feet, but it's because the yellow feet I realized actually are the front of the actual car and the front of the helicopter in that mode. So they're like, that's why they are that color, which makes sense then. But if you look at size and compare it to this version of their RC, it's like, well, even the other one, right? It's ridiculous.
Octane's not that big. He's like quite small.
So I don't know how big you think Springer's going to be. So I'm going to be in a video called Springer Wars eventually. No one nick it before I release it. But he's bigger than Prime. He's bigger than Prime as well. This is my KO Prime that I have, just a hand. So he's bigger. But yeah, I got him because I think it was his size and presence that attracted me to us. I was chatting.
You can pick up a cat now. That would just be fantastic.
No, she's out. So I saw this guy. This guy's helicopter mode. I'll transform him for next week after. This guy's helicopter mode is amazing. It's his helicopter mode that drew me in. I saw it at TFM once.
It's always the choppers with you, isn't it?
How much was he? How much did you pay?
Get to the chopper. 65.
Cool.
65M, and then I will just share. I can share his screening. And then my last one I got is what's share screening on? Here we go.
Complete Series 1 box.
There we go. Right. I'll just zoom in so everyone can see. There we go. So I got this guy, which is Seaspray 2.0 from Fanstoys. I got FOMO. Fucking got FOMO. Wasn't going to go on him. And then I went, I'll get him. He looks more toon. I didn't like the toon, to be honest. He looked like a, bit chubby, to be honest.
Hey, which one's which?
There's nothing wrong about being chubby, Alexis, in this day and age.
Yeah, his proportions were wrong. He didn't look, he didn't look like a
Who's the one on the left? The one that's like Andy from Little Britain.
This looks like
So
this
glad you
this
added the from Little Britain.
Oh, you can edit that out. This is Fanstoys, and then this is X Transbots Neptune. And you're right, Jim. There isn't nothing wrong with being chubby. Just his proportions
Thank
just
you,
look wrong.
Alexis.
So
Validation.
he just looked dopey in the cartoon, and I didn't like the way aesthetics he looked. So Fanstoys did. They tried to make him their own, like more like the toy, and it didn't quite work. So I've got a couple of shots of him, very simplistic shots here, really. So he does have a good head sculpt. I don't like all the screws at the back. I'll show it in a minute. Really, I actually prefer this. I think overall, and I think articulation wise,
which is the new one again? Sorry,
left hand side. So
Actually,
this
that's the new
one.
I thought the left hand side was the original, and then the right hand side was like the upgraded
Left-hand-
2.0.
left-
No, it's
left-
Fanstoys being too inaccurate.
left hand's
The
just come
point
out
of making
released
their
this
toys
week.
bad.
This week, right now, I will say the quality of him is good. It's better than some of the other mini bots in the sense of his consistency in that respect, because he does have I'll stop sharing there for a second. He does have ratchets in his legs here. That's all ratcheted. This is all ratcheted here. That's friction there, but most things are ratcheted, and the paint on them is really good. He doesn't have a great ankle rocker, unfortunately. He's got a lot of bloody. I know you don't pose him from the back, but just saying, he's got a lot of bloody screws at the back. Like, there's a lot there. It's like he's been shot full of bullet holes. But what's quite clever is obviously this back here that actually forms the top of the hovercraft when it folds around to make it look like the toy again. And he's got a lovely head sculpt. I don't know if I can get in close enough to see. His head sculpt's pretty cool. He's got lovely eyes. So it comes with two guns. What they've started doing now, apart from Braun, because he doesn't come with any guns, obviously, and Warpath, but they've started. Fanstoys do actually release two guns with a lot of their bots now, as well. So this is Neptune. Neptune's he's got anything at the back here. This is that hook there is because you actually get a line, and you actually get skis, so Bumblebee can go water skiing. It comes with all that. It comes with a lot more accessories as well. He's got a better waist swivel. That waist swivel is okay, but if you turn too much, it unplugs his belly. Effectively, his belly gets in the way. If you turn it around too much, you have to sort of pop his belly back in. If you want to turn, but when you turn him, it pops out. So, yeah. But quality of it, great. Paint, great. I still prefer this, I think. I mean, this is friction, so this will wear eventually, and this is all friction here as well. That's quite loosey-goosey. But you can obviously put the stuff in to make the friction tighten up as well. So, but again, the price as well, you're looking at Seaspray 2.0, £90, and then Neptune, which is probably the more realistic looking, true to life character, £50, 50, 60 quid. So you're looking at about, a good sort of 50% markup at least on that character potentially. So it depends on your nostalgia for the character, what you feel. So yeah, so that's that guy. And then lastly, just get came to post. I just got one picture to share of this as well. I got Rat Trap, the core class Rat Trap. Cool. So I just want this is my little setup at the moment. So I've got So I thought
he's a rat. The chug line fits in.
It does. He's a rat, right? So that works. So I figured what we're doing there. I figured it works like with the rest of them really. So I know he's meant to be the same size as Black Rat there roughly, but he hasn't because he's so small. He doesn't have any 5mm ports. And the only other version you've got this sort of size is the Transform Element one, which I saw going on for sale the other day for 40 quid. What? This was a tenner. I know. So that Scorpion
that's legend size, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because again, second hand. People had them postage and everything else on. So I was like, oh, I said I'll buy it for 30. I went, nah. I went, okay. So this was 10 quid. I thought I'll just go for 10 quid. It's a filler. So screw it. I haven't transformed. It's just going to sit there like that. But that's me.
Oh, right. I'll go next. Just a little one for me. So I got Mario Fernandez, who's for some reason plays with Russia, and Pepe. Portugal.
Oh,
There.
dear.
That's my 2 for this week.
I need to dig that sticker album out.
You get free if you go
You
to Sainsbury's.
Yeah, yeah. And you
Go to
get free
Sainsbury's,
stickers in
buy
it.
something or chore it. You get that.
Says Euro 2020 on the front still. Though.
No, last year, right?
They didn't
last
bother
year's all-
reprinting it.
That was awesome pickups. Right onto Rohan's Corner. It starts off.
Rohan, Rohan, Rohan.
You hear them high him low. Rohan, Rohan, Rohan. Rohan. Rohan, Rohan, Rohan. Bum, bum.
I love the feedback we were getting on your mic when you were doing that.
Keep those hands rolling.
Rohan.
Throw hand.
Thank you, A-Team, and welcome once again to Rohan's Corner, everyone, on this Saturday night. I hope you're having a good week, and this week I wanted to talk about something which follows on from a video I did a few months ago, which was about how I got into Transformers. And there's a lot of chatter in the groups about how it's now been 35 years since Transformers was first launched in Generation 1, and many collectors have started collecting, stopped collecting, or maybe they don't classify the original formative years as collecting because they were kids and they were enjoying the toys and just enjoying themselves. And now it's become a serious collecting habit, and there's a bridge or a gap between the two. And so I started to think back through my past and think about when I had been a fan as a toy, collected the toys as a kid to enjoy, to play with, had a gap, and then come back to the fandom to collect again based on getting reintroduced to the Transformers brand. So today's video is all about what brought you back to Transformers after any kind of delay or any kind of gap in your collecting habits. I started collecting in 1986, 1987. I enjoyed the back end of G1 and tried to sort of scurry to get as many Transformers from Generation 1 as I could, being a lot younger than most of the collectors out there. And I managed to pick up some well into the 90s, but obviously at the back end of the 80s, early 90s, we were moving between that G1, G2 period, and a lot of the mainline toys had started to disappear or were only coming out in part of the Classics range or the Yellow Box range, as many people knew them. And so those were available, but then towards the sort of mid-90s we started to see this transition into G2 and the cartoon and all the other bits and pieces that went with it. And I was really interested in trying to get as much of that as I could, and I remember going to the States in 1990 and then again in 1996, and I believe we picked up quite a lot of stuff in the early 90s from liquidators and small toy shops which had old stock left over from Generation 1, which was great, and then some of the sort of G2 or Machine Wars or mid G1, G2 bits and pieces which I loved. However, then in obviously 1996, this is when I sort of took my stop from Transformers. When Beast Wars came out, I really didn't like the concept. I really didn't like the show. I really didn't like anything about it. And we had that horrible period of Beast Wars, Beast Machines, and Animorphs, which Andy showcased last week on the show. Sorry about that, Andy. Which was terrible, really, for me at the time. I really didn't like it at all. The toys were hideous for me. Even though I did pick up a couple of Beast Wars toys and we did watch bits of the show at the time, we didn't really enjoy it, my brother and I. So we had a break, sort of. We were still trying to collect G1 bits and pieces where we could, but it was much more difficult. You would go to car boot sales and pick up bits and pieces, and maybe you'd be lucky and find something in a charity shop or some shop which had got very old stock, that sort of thing. Sometimes abroad as well. And yeah, I guess between sort of the late 90s, 1996, 1997 to 2000, or 1999 really, was a bit of a big gap for me. And then all of a sudden in 1999, 2000, RID, the original Car Robots series hit from Japan, translated into English for the American and UK markets and Western Europe. And yeah, it pulled me right back in again, because obviously they tried to mix the two elements of the G1 cars and vehicles for the Autobots, and then the Predacons for the Decepticons with the Beast modes, and then also bringing in the Ruination and Scourge figures, which were obviously repaints of G1 toys, which worked kind of well to try and put the franchise back on track with its original idea, and really pulled me back in. And I remember in 1999, 2000, maybe even 2001, it might be 99 and 2001, we went to the States, and I picked up virtually the entire RID line in a whole suitcase full and brought it back to the UK. And the cartoon series was fantastic. I remember really enjoying the Decepticon commando units, Skybite, who I've talked about loads of times, being a hilarious character, along with his Predacon Team Rocket style baddies. And then we had the Autobots, the Car Brothers, and Wedge and his construction team, which was quite cool. Rail Racer was nice to see some train bots in there, and Ultra Magnus making a comeback, which was really good in the way in which he did, firstly as kind of a negative character or a bad kind of character, and then coming back and helping Optimus and combining together. And yeah, I really enjoyed that series. And there's a lot of people talking about whether or not we're going to get some updated figures of those toys coming forward as part of the upcoming lines that follow on from War for Cybertron. Hey, I really hope so, because I've sold all my RID bots now because they're old, and you know, I enjoyed them at the time, but it would be nice to have some updated versions of those to get more toon accuracy, to get more sort of scale accuracy. That would be really cool. And obviously they brought back Fortress Maximus in that series as well. So, and if we can say that at that time RID was kind of the transition period for the Transformers franchise, and now we're in that sort of same space again with War for Cybertron, very similar to Generation 1 in the sense that it's the same kind of characters, the same kind of look and feel of the figures, so on and so forth. Now we're looking for something that next stage, and we've got the Beast Wars toys out there. There's Beast Wars film being bandied about. There's also an animated film being bandied about. Don't know if those two are the same thing. Maybe we could have this crossover again of robots and vehicles and beasts in another kind of car robot style series, just for a season or two. It would be quite cool. And yeah, as long as they don't have Ty and Koji in it, then it'll be all good. What do you all think? And what would you like to see next? And also, what brought you back into Transformers after a period of not collecting? And when was that? We'd like to hear from you. Let us know, and write into the show. For another week, I've been Rohan, and this has been Rohan's Corner. Okay, see you next week. Back to the studio.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Right, now on to our discussion, which tonight is about the Facebook groups, which there is many, the Facebook Marketplace, and the Facebook sales pages. So is it okay to price bash on people's posts? What is acceptable? Where do you take the line where you say that you're probably scalping now? And where do you stand up for your page and say, I believe that we've got the rules right? So guys, have you had any experience with anyone hitting up on one of your sales and saying that price is not right?
Yes.
The price is not right. We should have called it that, for fuck's sake.
The price is not right. Just call it that. Yeah.
Do you want to do it again?
No.
No,
It
it's
really
fine.
doesn't.
Beautiful, Alexis.
Thank you. I've been moisturising.
What was beautiful?
Oh,
Are you just calling Alexis beautiful?
James just randomly
Not with that
perving
bug,
over
you just-
Alexis.
You just randomly came in. Beautiful, Alexis.
he's
It
going all
puts the
James.
lotion on his skin.
He's going all James. He's going all James Blunt
I
to me,
am.
isn't he?
That's all it is.
You're beautiful.
You never call me beautiful, Jamie. Never.
That's true.
Right, cool. What's the
I can't
Twitter,
do
Jamie?
Blunty. He's given up.
That's the discussion.
No, come on. Right, what happens on the Facebooks? What happens on the Facebooks? What goes on? What the fuck goes on with these
Speak the
bastards?
English way.
I don't know. I think people need to go out more, maybe masturbate or something, and just chill a bit.
Oh, I don't have time, mate. Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I think sometimes it's I think it's the internet. I think things are set in stone and fees or whatever. I mean, people make a comment, it can be read in the worst way, and sometimes the people making the comments is just like you're going, why? It's. I honestly don't know. I think, you know, first of all, I'm obviously a man of high moral fibre. So if Matt Hancock is listening to this, I'm available for an NHS contract. But coming back to this discussion, you know, Matt Hancock, but yeah, I honestly think it's up to the people. You don't know what the situation is. They've bought the figure, and if they're going to sell it for a ridiculously high price, then just don't buy it, move on. You know, and I think especially when it's, I think sometimes you could maybe whisper them, or you can talk to an admin to say, look, I don't think you sell the figure at this price because it's still available in shops, £10 cheaper. So why would anyone buy it from you? You know, so, and I'd
paint a picture of what happened. So just give it, and like, I don't think either side was wrong. A bit of context, yeah. There was a Huffer up for sale. So Huffer's just come out. I think he retailed about £18 or something, or £19 with free delivery from one of the big toy stores.
Yeah,
someone was selling him for about £25, £26, and everyone just jumped on him. Well, and some people stuck up for him. It was kind of caught in the middle. So it's about £10 more than you could possibly, or £9 or £8 more. You might be able to get him for cheaper. And it just generated a whole conversation, didn't it? Because we were like, well, if you had postage is between £3 and £4 for the Huffer figure, and then if you insure it, well, no, they were covering insurance, but then you got the box and the materials, and like at worst, he might be making £4 out of that. It just didn't. It seemed weird.
Yeah, it was, because it wasn't a ridiculous markup when you actually think about, you know, he's not a shop. He's not some multinational corporation that, you know, can give you free shipping and all the rest of it.
But
selling it on. And he wasn't just a sales post, was it? He mostly, actually, the person who put it on did say, I'd rather trade it. But he was saying, you know, if I'm going to sell it, I'll sell it for this. And I just think I had it with something that I put up for sale once, and I kind of put it up for sale at the kind of market value that it was, and within minutes had somebody commenting on the post about how the price was too high, and, you know, shouldn't be up for that much. And within minutes, somebody else had bought it off me. So it's happened to me a couple of times, that, and once with a comment on the actual post, and once where somebody sent me a PM and said, oh, you know, you're not going to sell it for that, I'll buy it off you for this amount. You know, obviously trying me on it, and I sold it within, again, moments. I was able to message back, it's already sold, mate. You know, I just think if you don't want to pay the price somebody's put something up for, scroll the hell on. You don't have to put the stupid laughing emojis. I mean, I look at posts and think,
angry faces.
I think, you're not going to sell it at that price, mate. But I don't bother putting a comment on or doing something like that. It's just pointless.
Do you think it's more like, it's like, I think the thing with social media is a lot of people will do a lot of comments which are pretty nasty and not nice, but they have no awareness of it. You know, because no one's actually took them aside at one point in the, because they're adults, and told them, look, don't, you know, think about it from this perspective. And I don't want to deliberately make people feel bad who do this type of thing, but, you know, don't.
No, you're right. You're right.
I agree. I often see figures that I think are overpriced, but I let it go, right? I mean, because sometimes it's not always a single figure. I mean, sorry, sometimes it's just a single figure. So you look at a load of posts, you think, oh, that figure's quite overpriced.
Yeah, why I thought charging money for CJ?
Why is that one? And I think, look down and you see
the glory of CJ.
I think
face.
what the other one's like, and I went, I don't know, are they expensive? Maybe I would want to pay that, but then again, I'm not. You know, and you see one of them sold. Depends how much someone wants of it, right? But again, it's the same. Like the sort of the demand on figures, sort of things go up and down all the time, really. So, I mean, I used to message someone if I saw something that was quite high. I message them and go, I think your price might be a little bit high. I've seen it go for this, But I just think, you know, mate, if you can get it now, I don't bother. That was before. Now I don't bother. I just go, well, if someone wants to pay for it, then great. If you can set for that, fantastic, right? Supply and demand, right? You know, if the price is too high, people tend to know that. But if someone really wants something, they'll tend to buy. And I've done it before. I've bought something and I've gone, I could have got cheaper over there. But like, you know, end of the day, I'm not going to worry about it because I've got something. I've got it now. And it's sometimes you'd rather have that figure than miss out again. But you're right around the whole huffer thing. And I do the same thing when I buy a figure. Like, I bought one of these for like, you know, one of these figures tonight at the display was 40 quid.
So where do you draw the line? Like, where does it get to scalping?
Well, I was going to say, I was set for £40 plus the postage and the insurance, right? And if they want to pay me friends and family, great, that's fine, don't mind. They don't pay me fees. But I always say to someone that I always send mine fully insured. Because I've had things go missing and it's a real ball ache at both ends. So I will, you know, the extra you're paying for that postage, and people accept that. If they don't accept it, they accept it. If I want to just get rid of something, I can drop the price, but I'll try and set the price I want to sell it at. And if I want to shift it quicker, I'll drop the price.
Right. You can always... I think there's different things though, isn't there? So you get markets which fluctuate. Like if we look at Unicron, he's gone up, which I kind of guess we thought he would. There's people out there like Unicron's like £2,000. You can sell him for, probably have a good bet of getting £2,000, and this is something that a lot of us have paid £600 for over a period which wasn't great, was it? The COVID period. Are you a scalper if you just look at that £2,000 and think it's £2,000, maybe £2,500? You could almost clear £2,000 profit if you sold your Unicron. Would that make you a scalper, or would it just make you a realist?
I mean, I think the big issue I have is, you know, I haven't done anything this year, but 2 years back I was part of a research group looking into comments on the internet, social media, Twitter, and stuff. And I think the problem I have is the hypocrisy, because you're going to have people going, "Oh my God, you're a scalper! You're selling this way above the mark! Ha ha ha! How stupid are you?" You know, and then you'll see them do a post and they'll have a paragraph of why they're selling it at an extortionate price because they've had a fire and you know, the local orphanage is burnt down and they're going to try to help them. You know, there's going to be a wonderfully written, scripted comments and why it's okay for them to sell at higher than average prices. And it's so scripted, you know, everyone generically copies it. So you see the same language used and again in sale posts. And I think sometimes we start to lose what a scalper is. A scalper is someone who's buying something from the internet before you got a chance of getting it and then selling it immediately. And I think sometimes what we're talking about is people who have got something, they've had it for a couple of months, they don't like it, secondhand, it's been opened, you know, and they're moving it on. And I think in the case of Unicron, people were waiting for like about 2 years for Unicron to come along. And in that situation, your love of a certain item or a franchise can change. It's not as if it's been a overnight decision. And quite frankly, if these people weren't putting the money in the first place to go over a certain amount of limit for Unicron, you know, because it was crowdfunded, that wouldn't have happened.
But not just that. Like, remember, it was £600, so it would have been at the complete top end. So you would have had Transformers. Like, you could probably scale your love with Transformers, can't you, between 1 and 10? Like how dedicated you are and how much time you spend online and how much time, like how much you love it and how much it takes over your whole life. And there were people being level 10, like Transformers is everything. They would have seen Unicron come out, but they would have had to get it. So they would have borrowed money or used their credit cards or stuff. Like, I'm not saying unreasonably, they would have used it reasonably to get that. But then now they're seeing it going for like £2,000, and now they're thinking, oh, that's a lot of money for it to go for. So I get what you're saying, they're not the scalpers.
Jamie's right. You're a scalper if you've bought it with the express idea that you're going to sell it straight away. You're not buying it because you're a collector and you want to keep it. You're buying it because you want to get rid of it. But if you've just bought it and then you've changed your mind for whatever reason in the period, so you wanted it as a collector.
If you put your Unicron up now for $2,000 on TF UK sales, what do you think would happen in the comments?
I don't care what some of these people are going to say. I'm not going to sell my Unicron.
No. Just but what would happen?
If people are going to make negative remarks, because it's the nature of the beast. And the thing about Twitter is it's very tribal, and it doesn't matter. The thing about Twitter and social media, and I'm being this completely honest, it doesn't matter what you say it, how you say it. It all depends on who's saying it. So if you've got enough of the clique on your side, if you've got that army on your
Mm.
side, you can say what the fuck you want. I'm selling this unicorn with my newborn son, and they'll be delighted. It doesn't matter what you say, how you say it. It always matters about who's saying it, and that's just the real social media.
Thing which
Yeah.
does get me, the thing which does get me is as well as when someone does put on the groups, oh, I still this, and again, this is my gripe, and again, I'm not saying I'm right. This is just my opinion. Is that when someone says, "Oh, I saw this price on eBay for this price, so I'm going to set at this price." I think there's a general. I think we had the discussion before when you think the groups are meant to be a little bit segregated from eBay. It's not meant to be eBay prices on the groups. You meant to, because again, eBay obviously is
Take a massive cut.
it's a licensed business. Obviously, you've got protection there. You've got the rules. You've got the she said you've got that. You're paying for that bubble, aren't you? Around eBay, right, and everything else. And obviously, on the groups, you are protected by PayPal as well if you pay in the correct if you pay in the correct way.
But the opposite of that, and Andy alluded to this, the people put posts up saying, "I'm looking for this. Don't want to pay eBay prices, or don't want to pay silly prices."
Yeah.
When you say silly prices, do you want me to sell you my Transformer, which I don't mind, for less than what it goes for?
Yeah, it's the for a reasonable price ones, you know, or not eBay prices. And I get why people put it, but you basically, like you just said, Paul, you just hit the nail. You're saying, let's say the market value of Earthrise thrust, right? A much sought after figure. Market value is probably 60, 70 pound.
65 quid.
But somebody saying, well, I don't want to have to pay those eBay prices. You know, I want it for 30 quid. Well, get one from America and get it shipped over for free, basically, because, you know, the market price is this. Why? There is a bit of an attitude that as fellow collectors, we should help each other out by, you know, selling things cheaper. But then you've got people who are collecting. You've got people who are collecting who financially, you know, they might need to sell that figure at its market value because that's the only way they can then fund buying other Transformers they may want. So why shouldn't they be allowed to do that? That's not scalping. They shouldn't be. People shouldn't be having to go. And going back to what the original point was, it's should you price bash? And the answer is no. You should fuck off and just scroll on. Yeah. There's no need to price bash. Don't like it? Tough. Go.
Because there's no objection to people putting. So this is it. You don't get price bashing when someone says, "By the way, here's my eBay post. Check out my eBay post, right?" And you go on eBay, and if you think, "Oh, that price is quite high," no one gives a shit.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of comments on that.
Go, could you not give me that toy for fee, please, mate? You know.
The thing is, as well, I saw. You know, there was some talk of when you get something like a higher priced post or something that's considered by many people to be overpriced, should that be like reported to an admin or something? Well, it's not for us to tell other people how much they should be selling their stuff for. I mean, you know, if we thought it was scalping, that'd be different. Then
no, that's what I mean. I mean scalping. Like you get to a barrier. If someone's got a basket full of Transformers, they're selling it at double markup, and the Transformers just come out.
Oh yeah, well that's scalping. That's where I think maybe
you step in. And say, I
believe
in free market. I think a bit of me believes what you're saying. I just think, well, you know, I've overpaid for Transformers, and I know I have done, and I've paid it because I want that Transformer. I don't think, oh fuck, I'm paying £10 more. I thought, oh cool, I've actually got the Transformer I want. I don't think that guy's a wanker because I've taken that decision. I'm not an idiot. I know how much money I have. I know how much I can spend and outlay. And I've paid that much for a Transformer, and I've got that.
There's a risk in it.
There's a controversial comment I wanted to make though. Any situation of like Huffer where he's still available at a cheaper price, almost £10, if not £8 cheaper, do you think it would be controversial to put a post above the sales post to say, and this is other places you can get Huffer from, being helpful to your community? Look,
yes.
Or do you think that's the ultimate wanker thing to do? It's worse than price bashing.
People do that.
Like the ultimate warrior. The ultimate wanker.
I don't think it's acceptable to do that.
Texas potato.
I don't think
people do that on posts, don't they? People put in the comments, still available here with a link
to
like Smith's
well, that's
or
it,
something.
right?
And it's like you could just put a comment saying, look, you know, I understand your price, but you can get it from here, which is more sensible and it's less not aggressive, I suppose, but it's less being that dickish attitude. It's like, look, no, I'm not having a go, mate, but you do know that people pick this up.
Here's one, right? Okay, so 2 points, right? First one, a few posts, ironically, make offense. That's the first point. And then,
Oh, sorry.
and now
You
to say,
posts make a fence.
Do you not think then, just pushing that point a little further on, that if someone sees that post and obviously you guys are well educated in this area, and your admins, doesn't it fall under the duty of the admin to educate the person who's posting on their own site? Say, by the way, mate, just let you know that's a little bit higher, in case you weren't aware. In case you weren't aware, this is being priced here. Just to give you guidance on that. Is it not an admin's proactive right before he does then get the ultimate wanker coming along and go, oh mate, that's look at that. Oh, like that's well expensive. I'm not paying that price. You're an absolute dickhead. I mean, let's face it, right? As Jamie pointed out, right? Go, indulge in it. Don't be it. Everyone needs to indulge in the wank. Don't be the wank.
But that's why I love TF UK, and it's the thing I hated about it straight away, and actually love now, is that they keep the sales posts. So you've got TF UK sales and you've got TF UK. And that is beautiful, because all you get on TF UK sales is transactions, and attitudes can get shut down really quickly. Things don't blow out of proportions, and you've got a separate site with actual people who just want to talk about Transformers. And that's beautiful, and I can see it. And sometimes when you get the things which blow up with people overpricing stuff, you get a little bit of friction and stuff, but it never spills out into our actual open discussion about Transformers on TF UK. It never gets affected by any of that sales shit. Which when you look at other groups who have it all mixed in, fuck me, once something goes wrong with the sales or scalping or buying bumblebees or anything, it infects the whole group.
Do you also think we've got a responsibility? Because I think sometimes one thing, I don't know how best to put this, but there's a certain, when you think about populations as a whole, you're going to have like maybe the top 30% are quite savvy. And I'm not saying IQ intelligence, I'm talking about just savvy intelligence, streetwise, they're intelligent 30%. And maybe the next, 50%, you could say, have the ability to look up. But it's going to be that sort of bottom 40% you worry about who haven't got that savviness or that ability to look up, and they might be taken for a ride because they'll see that sales post up and they automatically just presume that's a good price because that's just a demeanor. It's the way they're set, and it's no offense to them, it's just the reality of the thing. It's the way gambling institutes work and stuff like that, to trap it in, or those random phone calls where they say your PC password is been found out. If you could just give it to me, I'll sort this out for you. And they know out of 99% of the calls will tell them to fuck off or just hang up, but there'll be that 1% they catch just because it's a bad day as well and the individual's just not focused or they're tired. But I'm just thinking you've got a duty.
That's what I said. That's what I said as well. Do you not think it's then get the duty of the admin though, then to actually obviously educate or police?
Not Facebook. Admin, you're not paid.
It's a lot more work for admin, isn't it? It's to ask admin to do all that.
Any community that's grown massively through the admins. So they've grown that and they've put time that they don't have to put time into to do that. I don't think you can never.
Most groups have rules about price bashing, don't they? Which you agree to when you join the group. Most groups, not all, but most groups do.
You read the rules?
It says no price bashing in TF UK. It says no price bashing.
Yeah. Of course I have. Don't chuck me.
Jamie doesn't. He didn't even know.
Gav Ugris, he's got these.
I was just going to say it can go both ways though, because you see posts from people saying like, and I'm not having to go at them for it, but I've seen posts from people like with a whole collection of Transformers. They're like, I got this for 10 quid off Facebook Marketplace. So by the same count, shouldn't they be saying to the person who's selling them, they're worth a lot more than that? Because we did see with somebody who started selling some figures recently that they didn't know the value of, and were selling them massively underneath their market value. And people were jumping, oh, I'll take this, I'll take this. And thankfully, some people did actually say straight away, you do know this is worth a lot more than it. And it got kind of shut down so the person could actually do a bit of research and find out. That's what we should be doing as a community. That's where you're looking after each other.
Yeah,
I've seen that happen before. And it
was great. And you mentioned it. Sorry, Lex, just 2 seconds. That was such a great example of community that happened. So people could have made money off it. loads of money, but just stopped it and just said, right, this guy's got loads of really valuable stuff to sell. Let's just stop it and let him sell it.
And I think the circumstances around that was a little bit of the part of it, but I'd like to think it would have happened anyway. You know, I'd like to think people would have like said to him that you do realize that's worth like 3-4 times what you're selling it for.
I've got a perfect example, and it was me. It was someone put up a sales post. It was for a Pretender. It was a Pretender vehicle, car one, all complete and stuff like that. And she said, "Oh, she was selling it." She said, "Offer me a price," and I didn't have any idea about how much value Pretenders were. But I just kind of wanted that vehicle because so I just went £85 because I wanted to give her a fair price, and I didn't know what the reality. So I didn't want to give her a bad price, you know. So I said £85, and she sent me back going, "Don't be ridiculous." And I went, "Oh fuck, that's not good." But she said, "That is far too much. £26 is fine."
Oh.
You know, and then she did. And I just thought that was such a nice thing because that was a massive update. She was saying,
don't you stick to that community? That community makes you sticky.
You know, and I thought that was really nice of what she'd done, you know, especially since she was using the money to go and buy other Transformers. You know, she could have and I was quite ill at that time. I remember very ill. You know, I had you know, it was temperature and all that stuff. So I was not thinking, I wasn't focused, and I was on my mobile phone. So I was trying to be fair. I wasn't thinking too well because I was seriously ill at the time. You know, I had been in hospital that weekend. So it was just nice that the fact, you know, she was just genuine.
Just to echo what you both said there again, I've said before, when with MPs as well. I remember a post for Weird Wolf, the Fanstoys one that came out, and the guy wanted like £110 for it. And obviously you can appreciate how many people went, I want it. And he just went, "Look, I'm stepping back. I've been told under that," and stuck up for the correct price. Because you can see everyone, I mean, people wanted it, right, for themselves, but still, it was like, I mean, it's almost like the MP Cordon, right? But that's on Amazon. That's not on the groups. I found that on an Amazon. I was like, "Oh, Amazon Prime." I was like, that was imported from the US. So the reason I got that cheap is because I imported from the US, not from China, as an example. Because in eBay, it's worth a lot more. There are loopholes, but again,
the main thing is just don't be a dick to each other. Just don't be a dick.
Indulge in it. Indulge in the wank. Don't be the wank.
You know, one of the nicest things I've had was like Paul was selling something on the Transformers UK forums, sales forums, and it was something I helped get him. I didn't buy him it. He used his own money. I just posted that out to him. And Paul was like, he felt bad. He went, "Jamie, I'll give you something like the profit or something like that." And I was thinking,
I'll stay with you. Was it Case of Velocitron?
Yeah, and I was thinking to
myself, the B&M box set.
I was thinking to myself, don't be ridiculous. You know, this is like something, a product you completely paid for. You know, and I just thought, oh, he's a keeper.
I've still got your red alert up there.
Oh, awesome.
There he is. There's the bastard that you sent me in the post.
There we go.
He stays up there.
What a great idea that if you buy something from a shop, when you sell it on, if you make more money on it, you might owe them.
Someday.
Give him that idea.
Jamie just
popping
like,
into your local Tesco. I sold this on.
So. Jamie was just like, "Fuck off! Well, I'll just take some more of those photographs you sent me."
He's
the wife. Oh no! Just for clarity, that's photographs of Paul, not who Paul is talking to.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way, Alexis. You know I've got refined taste.
So I think the general point that we've all come to agreement on is that price
Paul's
bashing is a dick
naked
move, and also that.
and indulge in the wank. Don't be the wank.
We've said that about 3 or 4 times now. I'm not sure that's going to catch on, but we'll see.
I don't know.
The next catchphrase.
2 words, Matt. I don't want it to catch on.
If you want, I can give you a win of this figure, and you could, I don't know, indulge in the wank to him. What a physique!
Oh dear!
It's like, you know, it's like a mirror image. It's like, you know, it's.
I feel like some of this is going to be edited.
I love it. So
I've got a feeling a lot of it's going to be edited.
Did you say you can do the dishes, Paul? Yes, I did. And you said you would put the kids to bed. So why did I find Lucas upstairs playing with I don't know, something.
Nice.
Well, it's like it wasn't there. It wasn't there. It definitely wasn't like that. No. I'll go back to the show. They
No
need me
bacon
now.
sandwich for you tonight, Paul.
That's it.
No bacon
Yeah, okay.
sandwich.
I will make sure that your socks are folded. I'll make sure that they are folded and ironed in the morning.
You don't
Okay,
fold
right.
socks. You put the socks in.
I
Put them in a bowl. You bowl them up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Pull
You
fold socks.
Get out of here, you freak of nature.
Somebody kick him. Somebody kick him.
Yeah, fold your socks.
Cross the line there.
Yeah, sock folder.
Sock folding.
I'll have a day
Every
to
week
hang
I
my
wash and fold my socks, then put a little bit of plastic through them just to make sure they stay together. That's the way they should be. That's the way they come from the shops. Keeping it real. Oh dear. There's the conversation. Do you fold your socks or do you ball them?
Asking the questions you never thought Transformers would ask on a YouTube show.
That's it.
Serious question.
There we go. Right. Well, on that note, we're
he's
done
back.
for the night.
He's back.
Oh, well done. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Go to CF UK on Facebook. Join us there. Transformers the show. Twitter. How do we
TF
Twitter?
Show UK.
Yes, we do. And Instagram, sir.
Transformers the show.
Yeah. See you next week.
I want to drink wine. Bob Jen.
Okay, say thank you and go to Rohan.
Cool.
All right, 3, 2, 1. No, wait, shit. 3, 2, 1. That was awesome. 3, 2.
No, we haven't gone into the Rohan thing yet.
I know, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying awesome. I'm saying it's awesome pickups, but then I realised that I was too enthusiastic. Or was literally half an hour of comparing X Transbots Seaspray with. I need to get the
You
awesome
can't say
bit
you
right.
were surprised.
Okay,
You didn't have time for his
3, 2, 1.
photo.
Oh, yeah.
Face anytime.
I forgot. I got extra Springer as well. I forgot to mention it.
You know what? You know what, mate? You should have saved Seaspray for next week. That way, you would have given yourself time to do the photos.
Let's do that then. Let's do that. I'll do Seaspray next week. Just cut that bit out.
All right, cool. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Not gonna cut it out.
No. 3, 2, 1. Right, that's it for pickups. And now on to the legend that is Rohan. So, gents, join me in a morning chorus.
Oh.
Rohan.
Little over exuberant with a bottle there, Alexis. Not for the first time, I'm sure.
How about we do a new one? We do Rohan.
Let me see Rohan without always having to say something.
Let's do it. Alexis had it.
You like rawhide.
3, 2, 1. You can't do it. Jamie's the only one who can do that. Put it off.
Sorry. I do apologize.
Don't rape his joke.
Usurp him. I'm not sure it was meant as a joke originally, but okay. I think it was just chronic lack of effort at the time. Rohan.
Right. Are we happy with
This is
that?
going well.
I can't be asked to do that.
What was it last week that we got stuck on and had to record about 20 times?
Alexis blowing the bottle.
Oh, it's this again. It's this again.
Bottle's fine.
Right, I'll just say it. We won't do anything. Okay.
Just go. And now it's wrong.
3, 2, 1. What?
Safe. Just saying safe. Yeah. Safe.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers, bud. 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Rohan. No, we haven't done that yet. 3, 2, 1. Great pickups. And now over to Rohan. Take it away, sir. Rohan.